Hey, what's up? We're live. We'll be right with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Stigma Ends Here. Definitely a highly anticipated episode. We're off last week, so thank you everybody for joining. I appreciate you. Myself, I'm one of the hosts of The Stigma Ends Here. I'm Mike. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, and the founder and president of Recovery Army Outreach Incorporated, based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
What's up? I am Travis. I am owner, founder of Climb for Recovery. I'm a grateful recovering addict, alcoholic. And yeah, dude, we definitely took a week off to kind of get things back in the right position. And tonight, man, we have Casey Makes Music. Casey makes all kinds of things, but he definitely makes music. And not only is he a good friend, he's an amazing artist. And we're excited to have you on, Casey.
Thank you, man. I was hoping you would make me introduce myself because I really wanted to come in as Kalichi. You know what I mean? I'm really grateful to be here. I'm Kalichi. Is that good?
That's perfect. You're doing fine.
Oh, man, I can't wait till you have him on, honestly. One of my favorite people, by the way, in the entire world. Just throwing that out there. How you guys doing, man? I'm really grateful to be here. When Trav asked me, I know I was like, what did I say right away? I said yes, and Mike came into one of my lives, I think, and asked, and I was like yes, and then we tried to make it happen, and then we only got pushed back a week, and made it happen. We locked it in, but I'm glad to be here, and thank you guys for asking me to be on here with y'all.
Thanks.
Did you get the check our lawyer sent you? Just want to make sure that's.
Yeah, Max is confirming we got the check. Yeah.
All right.
The only reason that we're here right now.
Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate taking the time coming on. Definitely want to talk. Wow, that's definitely want to catch up about a couple things, touch on some projects you're working on, but also recovery and addiction, of course. That's why we're here. And what this show is about is a stigma that surrounds drug addiction, alcoholism, and we just, like Trav and I just try to play our part in chipping away at this stigma, and doing what we can do. And, having people like you on, with a voice and with the reach that you have it's so much more helpful. So thank you again for being on, man. I appreciate it. I want to start, Casey, with a question that I like to ask everybody that comes on. So if you don't mind sharing with us, maybe where you're at now in your recovery, how much time you got, and also just kind of what life was like before that day you changed your life, and why, like what happened to make you take that step in the right direction, and how you were able to do that.
Yeah. Let me. So first of all, let me go in by saying, I literally, I speak very, very infrequently, right? I don't consider myself like a good public speaker or like live speaker or advocate when it comes to addiction and recovery. I feel like I'm better at making music about my life in general, and everyone's got a lane, so I commend you dudes for doing this so effortlessly. I tend to and so that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place when it comes to telling my story and all that stuff. But let's go with let's say I am clean and sober since June 19th of 2016. I got sober down in Florida after doing the South Florida Shuffle for a little while. So I'm trying to figure out, where do we start? You know what I mean? You asked me quite a few questions all at once there. I'm like, all right, so where should I start? Let's say,
let's say what maybe happened to make you realize you needed to change, and what action did you take?
Whew, which time, Mike?
Trust me, I hear you. No, the last this time
No.
on 2019.
It had been, you know what I mean? It's been probably, I went to treatment my first time when I was like 17 years old. I was living in California. I grew up out in California. I moved out there when I was really young from Connecticut, and I moved back to Connecticut after I graduated high school. But I went to my first treatment center when I was 17, and I thought it was just, I was a victim of circumstance, and I just wanted to have fun and party with my friends and whatever. As soon as I got out, I lit up a J with the homies, and I was like, yeah, I did my time, But it wasn't anything I really took seriously. And then I tried to do it like everyone says, man. I tried to do it my way, right? So it probably wasn't until around 2014 or 2015. I was pretty. Yeah, it was 2014. I was pretty broken down, and that's when it started crossing my mind again. Like, holy crap! Like maybe I need to go back to rehab or try something different. I was living in an apartment that I was in the process of being evicted from. I didn't have any power on. I didn't have a car anymore. My girl had left me. The girl that I was with at the time, because I was just a bum. I didn't want to work. Whatever stuff I was doing for money was just scheming and taking from stores, and middle of winter, and I was running an extension cord to my neighbor's house to power a little space heater and my my TV with a DVD player. And the TV and DVD player were the ones that you couldn't pawn because they were too old. They didn't want them, so it was literally it was like all I had left, And I remember thinking like, damn, something's got to give. Like I got to try something different, And that's kind of started the cycle of going in and doing that. I remember I was there for 12 days. And I had physically withdrew from the drugs that I was on, right? And at that time it was heavy opiates. It's always changed. Most consistently it was opiates the last few years, and a lot of cocaine. But it had always changed. Like in California, it was methamphetamine. It was it's anything, literally anything. A garbage can. If it's just alcohol that I have, then I'm getting fucked up on alcohol, right? But so I remember I went in for 12 days. I physically withdrew, and I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, why do I need to stay here for the rest of the time? And I left, and I was like, I'm just gonna drink. We'll try this, and then that started that cycle of I ended up back out staying with friends for 6 months, and then back in treatment for 45 days this time, and then again I was like, let's try it this way. Let's try something different, and then. I was drinking again before I knew it. I got into a fight. I was living in a halfway house, and I ended up getting into a fight with the manager because he called me out for being drunk, and I didn't like that. And then I ended up, I was very when I drink, I know you would never suspect it, but I get very angry when people call me out. Who would have thought, right? But so I ended up getting into it with this guy, and I got kicked out that night, and I got arrested, and then I stayed up in upstate New York for a while, and found some other stuff, and then I went back to treatment. Then I went down to Florida, right? And I was on the right path for a little while, and I started getting things back. I was getting involved in the recovery community, you might say, and I was working a program of action. And then I kind of eased up on that because my life started coming back together, right? I got my job. I moved out of the halfway house. I had a girlfriend. Dude, I had a car. It was a convertible. The top came down. You know what I mean? Dude, I played volleyball on the beach. Like, come on. I don't need all this, recovery fellowship stuff. What is this, But I got a little bit out of touch, all the stuff came back. Right. And then, next thing you know, those thoughts start creeping in, I was out of touch, and, after 7 months down in Florida, I ended up, convincing the girl that I was with at the time that it would probably be a good idea for us to after 7 months, right? Not doing anything. It's a good idea, honey, if we go smoke some crack.
Why not?
Why not? There's the insanity right there, right? That's the mental obsession coming back in all of its glory. And so that led to the craziest 9-month run that by that time my family was done with me. And I've had a very close family my whole life, very good family on both my mother's and my father's side. I'm tight with all my cousins, aunts and but like my whole family knew that I was, I was a lost cause at that point in time, and I hadn't seen my mom in about 2 years. They very, very frequently would call me to check up on me because it would just be the same lie. Like, I'm doing fine. I'm always a victim of circumstance, if this is going on or that's going on, and they stopped believing my bullshit a long time before that. So I was just disconnected from everyone, and I was with this girl, and we're in South Florida, and we moved around from place to place, and stayed in my car when we could. I even I couldn't sell my car because I gave my title to a drug dealer and for a front, and then I was like, whoa, I can't go back and get it. This dude has my title. He's gonna kill me. Because the last time I was at the door, he had a gun to my head, and I'm like, and so I convinced myself that I just should avoid this guy and not try to go pay for my title when I got the money. But really, I just wanted to go get my car. But that's the reason I had a car, is because I didn't have a title. Otherwise, I would have sold it. You know what I mean? Things were at rough, I would say rough patch. I was probably down to 120 pounds. I'm normally about 170. And we were doing things for money that not in a million years that I would think would be possible, or things that I would let happen. From letting her do things with other men for money to serious cons that could have landed me in a lot of trouble, which we probably can't talk about yet, but soon, a couple more years.
Yes, allegedly, right, Chad?
Allegedly, yeah, of course. And thank God, she's doing well now, and she's just she's crushing life. But basically, it landed me in a position. I remember I saw my mom, and she came down to visit me after I had seen her in 2 years, and she was just like, nothing, no emotion, nothing. Her face was just like she was done, and I saw her, and here I am, being void of all emotion for just running hard as can be, 24/7 for these 9 months straight in South Florida, and then my mom comes and picks me up from this flop house that we're staying at, and she and I just see her, and I just broke down, and I'm like, I don't have any emotion at this point. I'm like, where the hell is this coming from? I just started crying, and then she just has the same expression on her face. She's like, she's done crying. She had been done crying, and she took me out to lunch, and then I tried to get money from her, of course, and she wouldn't give it to me, and I sat with that, and I think one of the last things that she said to me was, she didn't believe a word I said, obviously, and she let me know that. And then, my mom, who I've always been a mama's boy, had a super, super close relationship with her. She just said, I'm just waiting for the call that you're dead, and that kind of hit home, but at that point in time, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to make me be like, oh, wow, white light. I'm going to do something different. The girl that I didn't have the girl that I was with down in South Florida, very, very strange, especially a few years ago. It was a very, very, it's like the Wild West of recovery, but the girl that I was with had insurance, and I remember we were at a point where let's just go to detox and figure shit out. You know what I mean? A couple days. So we went to detox, and I got to piggyback off of her insurance, which I don't think is legal. But basically, because she had insurance and the center would be making so much from her insurance, they allowed me to come along because, hey, we're making money, which was great. I mean, I worked for me, right? So they're probably not allowed to do that ethically, but I got a scholarship for all intents and purposes. And I remember out of detox, they kind of they didn't allow you to go home. They were like, okay, they signed us up for this treatment center, and the next thing you know, we're in a bus headed from like Okeechobee in Florida back down to Fort Lauderdale. And like I remember, my car and our flop house that we were living at was in Boynton Beach, and it's like, you know, about 3/4 of the way there. And I remember when the guy was passing the exit, like I'm in the van, and I'm not ready to go to treatment. You know, I tried out, I got my detox in, like I'm good, and we're like screaming and yelling. I'm like, pull this van over before I grab the wheel, and he's like, you're gonna have to grab the wheel, bud. And I'm like, dude, I gotta pee, like whatever I could say, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna piss on you. He's like, you gotta piss on me, man. You gotta piss on me. Like, who the frick is this guy, dude? What the hell is going on? You know, that dude saved my life. You know, and in hindsight, I'm like, that dude, that very nonchalant man that told me to pee on him, it saved my life. And so we get there, and I really still didn't want to be there, you know. And I ran into somebody that I knew that was working there, and he was like, holy shit, dude, you look like shit. And here I am at 125 pounds. I'm like, are you sure, dude? I really thought I looked good. I still thought I looked good. That's the illusion, right? I looked like shit. I have a couple pictures because I didn't really take pictures, but I looked at them like, oh my God, that's insane. So I'm there for 4 days, and I don't want to be there. And it was one night, and it was just like, and you know how treatment centers, they have these guys come in and they speak, you know, for either, you know, recovery in general or their fellowships or whatever. And you know, these dudes that were coming in, they were around my age, you know. A couple of them had, you know, the days before were around my age, and they had multiple years, you know, of recovery and clean time, and you know, they had their shit together. And like, these are like dudes that I could see myself hanging out with, and people that I could see myself being around. And I'm like, well, if they could put this type of shit together, why couldn't I, you know? And you know, it always crosses your mind. And then when you're in the moment, and you're like, and you're in treatment, and somebody's speaking, you get all jazzed up, and you're like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about it. And then like 20 minutes later, you're back in the rooms with your boys, and they're like, dude, my girlfriend's coming with some stuff. I'm like, I want in, you know. It's like the highs and lows in treatment, you know. But something, you know, it was day 4, and I remember like distinctly the moment I'm sitting outside and with a group of guys, and we're reading some of that fellowship literature, and like, it was probably, and I remember like it just, the environment was beautiful. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, you know, and it's like, I should be dead right now. And all this is starting to like make sense to me. My fog is starting to lift, and like, I just look up, it's a beautiful sunset, you know, it's like 70 degrees, little breeze in the air, and I'm just like, and it something shifted, you know what I mean? Something switched up in my head, and then it like occurred to me that like I can get what all these guys had that came in there, you know. And it was a very, very distinct like aha moment for me, that, you know, the next day I woke up and I was like, hey, and I was still with that girl, you know, and I was like, hey, I don't think we should be together anymore, you know. And she's like, oh, hey, I was just finding you to tell you we should leave. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I think I'm gonna stay, you know, if they'll let me. And she ended up leaving. And like I said, she took her own path, and she's doing amazing, and God bless her. But she ended up leaving, which was probably the best thing I could have done for me personally, was to not be in a relationship at that point in time, because I had so much shit that I needed to learn, and so much focus that I needed to put on myself, you know. And it was really, it was crazy, because I would say every day since then, you know, and it's been more than 4 years now. I still wake up with that mentality of, you know, let's get it, you know. And I do my best to maintain that. Some days are better than others, but luckily I haven't had that desire. I put in a lot of work, and you know, it hasn't been a serious thought once, and I'm blessed, you know. And I know a lot of people don't say this, but I've been blessed thus far to not have like a serious, obsession where it's like, wow, I really want to get high. I really want to use right now. And I know that's not everyone's story. That's been the case for me, but I've done a lot of work, and I continue to do a lot of work every single day. These action steps, and I do my best to stay in the moment and remain teachable.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Casey.
Yes.
So, question. So that interaction you were talking about with your mother when she came down to Florida to see you, is that where some of the lyrics from Shot in the Dark came from?
And my mother, she paid me a visit while I was embracing the sickness. I'll never forget it. The last time I saw her was 2 years before that. I hate to relive it. As dead as I was on the inside, I channeled her energy. I couldn't help but feel hopeless inside of that moment. My tears started falling, and I just felt broken. She just looked older. She had no emotion. She looked right at me. Her face, it was frozen. I'll never forget what she said. I'll wait for the call that you're dead. And she told me she knows that it's probably the last time she'll ever be able to see me alive. And she left. When she hugged me goodbye, it was so disconnected, but yet so was I. That's probably the closest thing I've ever written to poetry in my entire life. I love those lines, man, because when I put the pen down to write that shit just floated out of me. It took no effort, and that shit just came like so naturally. It was probably some of the most honest shit I've ever written,
So how do you feel? So when you were writing the earlier music, Shot in the Dark, Powerless, how new were you into coming into recovery?
A little over a year, I'd say. I mean, I started, dude. I hit the gate running like that. Music. I found music, and I think music and my long-term recovery, sobriety are completely hand in hand because it was like, man, I was the kid that I go to a party and I'm fucked up. I just start freestyle rapping. Who wants to battle? You know what I mean? Like I would, I made a mixtape when I was 17 with the boys, out in California, and everyone was like, yo, you're dope, and I always like kind of thought, hey, maybe that'd be cool if I was a rapper, but it never seemed like a practical thing to pursue, Meanwhile, I see these other kids, throughout the last 10 years that I'm like, yo, they're good, and then they're better, and then they're better. Next thing you know, they're like half famous rappers and making a full-time living off of it. But that wasn't like an achievable thing for me, So it was always like I would get into it and I'd start writing songs, and then I would stop, or I would be, freestyling drunk at the party, and everyone would be like, dude, you're really good, you should be a rapper. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna, but never really knew what to do or didn't want to take the steps. But I think when I got sober, like early on, it was probably, very soon thereafter, within the first couple months that paper hit pen and lyrical form. And I started writing, and I just started writing, and I found it so therapeutic, to get all this shit off my chest. And then I would make like a little video and then post it on Facebook. And I remember I posted a video on Facebook, and it got like, I don't know, 1,200 views. And I was like, holy shit. Oh my God. I'm going to make it, and it was this moment, but it was like that little bit of motivation, like, holy shit, like people are actually listening to what I have to say with these lyrics. That's pretty cool, and at that point, like, I went forward and I started booking studio time, and I worked my way up, and over the last few years, and just kept writing, kept doing stuff, and I bought into a studio with Jordan Meyer, and kept learning. And then this last year, a little over a year ago, I ended up building my own studio and kind of making it. About a year and a half, I was able to cut down, or 2 years ago, I was able to cut down my full-time job to 2 days a week, and then a year and a half ago, I was able to quit it completely. And then a little over a year ago now, I signed the lease for this studio, and I just it's just been constantly. I'm giving my everything to it, and giving it what I think it deserves, with the music. And I feel like I have a voice, and some of the things I say, people, tend to relate to and really like, and, people's feedback has been everything and giving me the drive to continue.
That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah.
I got another question. I can keep them going.
I know you do.
All right, Casey, so is the first video that you're talking about, was that the one in the vehicle?
No.
You were rapping in the car?
No, that ended up being the song "Say Less." That was my car freestyle.
Yes.
That was my first video that actually like popped off. That was just before I released "Sober" with Jordan Meyer. That was I'm trying to think. That was a little over 2 years ago. When I had one video, the car freestyle kind of took off, and my page started growing a little bit, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. But no, dude, I was posting raps. I remember I moved back to Connecticut because my uncle was going through cancer, and like at this point, I had like 2 or 3 months clean, and I wanted to come up, and like I know he was staying in a house by himself, and I was like, I'm trying to rekindle my relationship with my family and my uncle. I know he was in and out of the rooms his whole life, with alcoholism, and I was like, I want to be there for him. I want to be able to help, like that's when like that shift occurred. That was a huge shift that occurred when I got clean. And that day that I talked about, that I was like, okay, no longer it's what can I take from the situation, it's how can I contribute and be a part of, so I was able to move back, and my uncle, God rest his soul, he passed away soon thereafter. But I was in that house at that point. I was in a 5-bedroom house, 3 months sober by myself, and my buddy moved in, and then that ended up being like the recovery house, and my buddy that moved in, we had around the same time. He had like 5 months clean, and so did I. And Eddie, shout out to Eddie, bro. He's crushing life right now. But one of the bedrooms I transformed into, and we were renting it for my family for ridiculously low. I don't know how a kid with freaking 3 months sober ends up getting an entire house with his friend for, $100 a week each, but we lucked out, and that was like the first year, and I had blankets on the walls on one of the bedrooms, and I was posting raps with blankets on the walls, and just posting them to Facebook like every day on my personal Facebook page. There might actually be some, if you look up my personal Facebook page, there might be some that I never deleted. You'll see like the shabby blankets on the walls for the soundproofing, and just random 1-minute rap videos. Yeah.
So another question that we become to like to ask everybody too, to change things up a little bit. So, all right, you go to a grocery store. What items are you putting on to make the cashier feel uncomfortable?
Oh man.
Anything. What are you putting out there to make him feel uncomfortable? Because Travis was very specific.
Go. Come on, go.
Think about it.
Wait, you want it really quick?
Yeah, you can't even think about it.
All right, so bananas, shaving cream, condoms, KY jelly, not duct tape, but electrical tape, like 4 or 5 rolls of electrical tape. And then probably like 3 or 4 of those toys that you buy in like the kids section. Maybe those little the gun with the darts that stick to things. And then one of those ski masks, of course.
Yeah.
Would that do it?
That's pretty good.
That was good.
What was yours, Trav? I want to know. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Do you even remember what it was, Travis?
Yeah, I think it was whipped cream, duct tape, shovel, 50-gallon drum of KY, a bunch of cucumbers. I don't know. I can't remember. We'd have to go play back the tape.
Yeah.
I mean, same vibes,
So here's another question, Casey. So like with all the music that's coming out, and I know you're not only an artist yourself, but you're a fan of hip hop and going way back. And but with the music heading in the direction that it is, where there's a lot of more music about using drugs and drinking and this, do you find it hard for yourself to find your niche? And this is a two-part question, so stay with me, Casey.
Okay.
Do you like, I think you said it perfect in Mount Rushmore, but how do you feel when people call you a recovery rapper?
I'm not a recovery rapper. I just happen to rap. I'm in recovery. If I was, and that's why I don't like the term recovery rapper. It's because that puts you in a lane and it puts me in a box. And it's like, dude, I make music about me and my life and my experiences and my stories that come out of my head. And to just limit it to recovery, it's like I feel like I'd be limiting myself. Like, this is my art, this is my music, and this is something I write about my own life. As far as music today and a glamorization of drugs, I feel that that's always been there, and there's a lot of music, and I'm not even gonna, bro, there's a lot of music that talks about stuff that I have no, I have no justification for listening to, dude, I'm telling you, some of the music that's relevant today, I listen to it for the simple fact that I like these dudes' voices. I like melodies. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate the production that goes into music. So there's not any kind of music either that I'm completely closed off to, because I appreciate what I can out of it, and I think that the glamorization of drugs and guns and violence and all that stuff has always been relevant in music, and that's always something that's been kind of a hot topic. But the great thing about that is that there's so much music out there, and there's so many people that you can listen to, and there's and if you don't like one thing, you can listen to something completely different. Listen to Casey Makes Music. I don't talk about guns because I don't be rolling with guns. I keep it real. And what's real, man. It's me. It's like, everything that I write about is just things that I've encountered. I try not to write about anything that I don't have any experience with, and that's one thing, man. Like, for the studio, I run the studio. If somebody comes in here, I have paying clients that come in here, and I have a business to run. And if somebody comes in here and they talk about, the struggle and how they had to, be on the streets to support themselves and gun violence and stuff like that. Like, if they're being true to themselves, who am I to be like, yo, that's garbage. You know what I mean? Like if they're in here and they're talking about that stuff and they're clearly never been a part of that life, then I take issue with that. You know what I mean? If you're genuine and you're true to yourself and you're making music for your fans that enjoy it, then, I say, whatever, man, let it rock. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. Listen to somebody else.
Yeah. Authenticity, I think is so important. Yeah, for sure.
So Casey, you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Trey.
So you just recently released a song that it's not a new song. I mean, this is a song that you've worked on for about 3 years. And it was something that you really had a hard time probably writing. And I know you had a hard time performing because of the situation and what it meant to you. And you released it just this past Friday, XO RIP. And in the first win that I got of it, I literally had put it on Spotify in my truck. And I literally opened up Facebook, and a guy that I was trying to work with last year had ended up by overdose and pass it away. And it's just like, I know with what you do for music and the situations, how we put ourselves out there, we see so much of that on our newsfeed. But can you please explain to the audience, like, why you wrote it, why it took so long, and then maybe play it for everybody after?
Yeah, absolutely. So this song is it's called XO RIP, and it's been we're coming up on 4 years on my buddy Micah passed away, and I remember I had just under a year clean when it happened, and this is somebody that I actually met him in treatment, and like he was just like me. He was a few years older than me, but like we instantly, that person where you just like you have one conversation with, not even, it doesn't even take a conversation. You have one interaction with them, and you're like, oh, this is my dude for life. You know what I mean? Like, your personalities just kind of click on that level, and you're like, holy shit, right? And so like I stayed in touch with him, and I remember I moved down to Florida, and when I had that 7 months, I was on the phone with him, and he had gone back out, and he was living in Connecticut, and I got him to move down to Florida into the house that I was in, and at that point I was house manager, I big man on campus, but I helped him get down to Florida, and he just started excelling at a rate I've never seen anyone excel, and an electrician, got a job right away and just started killing it, man. He was on top of it at the gym every day, like working a solid program, taking dudes, mentoring people. But I remember I went back and kind of lost touch with him, and and then when I came back, I went and visited him, and I could tell he was on slippery ground, and I was, we constantly talked, and I remember he came up to visit me for Christmas in 2016, or right after I'd moved to Connecticut, and spent Christmas up with me, and then he went down to Florida, and then I remember, he called me to tell me that he had used, and that he was done. Then I was on top of him because this was like my brother, and then I remember talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I think I need to go back to treatment because I can't stop. I'll stop for a couple days, and then I'll use again. I don't know how to stop." And I'm like, "Damn!" Like, I was trying to help him get back into a program, and then I got the call from a girl that he was with, and saying that they couldn't find Micah. And I called a mutual friend of ours down there who ended up being able to find his location and found his car in the parking lot, and he had overdosed in his car, and it was devastating. I knew his girlfriend, who was not his girlfriend at the time, but they had dated for years and years, and they were on and off, like the love of your life type status, and she lived up in Connecticut with me, and I reached out to her, and I was like, I let her know, I was like, hey, they found Micah, and she didn't even believe me. It was hysterical, but we ended up getting in touch with Micah's sister, who was his family was part of a religion that disowned him for not wanting to be in the religion when he was younger. So his family wasn't really involved in his life anyway. But one of his sisters, amazing, Melissa. So the three of us went down to Florida, and we had him cremated, and we had a service for him. It was really special, and I feel like I lost a piece of my heart, and I knew I needed to make him a song, and it took me about a year to even start writing this song. I didn't know what I wanted to do, or I just thought it would come to me when the time was right, and I heard an instrumental, and I started writing this song, and I saw that comment that was really nice. I'm not seeing any other comments. Oh, here I am. Private chat the whole time. Okay. So I start writing this song, and like I wrote one verse, and then months go by, and then I couldn't get it together. I had like some of the chorus put together, and then months go by. I finally get the other verse, and I get the whole thing recorded, and it's like a rough draft version. And I sat on it because it didn't really quite feel right, the whole time. I sat on it for another year or so. And man, this song is crazy. It's just like what it stirs up, it's like, if you get this in heaven, can you tell them they must be mistaken about who they've taken too soon? Still can't believe that it's you. XO RIP on my newsfeed. I wanted to put on my newsfeed because I just see it every day. I see it, if not every day, at least every week. It's somebody else, and I'm scrolling on the newsfeed, and it's like rest in peace, and it's almost like you automatically already know, how they're gone, and it was right around this time where I was like, okay, I'm gonna reproduce the song, and I'm gonna shoot a video for it, and and I was down in Maryland shooting a video for it. And I came home, and Travis, you might have seen this. I posted a video where I kind of told the backstory. And I've, you know, it's been, it was a little over 2 months ago where I came back, and I got a text that one of my friends had been murdered. He had been stabbed outside of a bar where his girlfriend worked, and I ended up performing the song at his funeral, and it was like literally the hardest thing that I've done ever. And it's like I talked about it a little bit. I posted like a 8-minute video on Facebook where I kind of talked about it, and it's like at that point in time, the song like took on like a whole new meaning for me, you know, and it kind of just brought it so relevant in my life again. And that's when I re-recorded it and had it reproduced, because I had started shooting the video for it with the old version, you know, just as a reference. But I re-recorded it and with that in mind, and it's like it just made it that I don't want to say much more special, because it was already so special to me. But it made it hit home that much harder for me. And it's like, it's a song about grief. It's a song about loss, you know, and its intended purpose was for my brother Micah that passed away from an OD. But, you know, its meaning for me at this point is, you know, it brought on a whole new meaning. You know, my buddy Ernie, that was you know, it had nothing to do with drugs or overdose, you know, but I lost a brother, you know, that I've known since I was 19, and you know, he's gone way before his time, you know, and it took on that meaning in my life, you know, and the song is just so special to me. And the video, I wanted it to be perfect, and Avail Visuals, Carlos made it absolutely perfect, and I just released it a little over the video about a week ago. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, about a week ago I released the video and the song not long before that. But it feels good. It feels like a big weight, you know. And like I said before, you know, the writing has been therapeutic for me. I think writing and music and my recovery go hand in hand. That's 100%. I don't know that I would say I wouldn't be clean and sober, but I don't think I would have the quality of life that I have right now had it not been for music, you know. And this piece that I created, XORIP, was, I wanted to make it, you know, paying respect to my friend, but I also wanted to make it so that, you know, anybody can listen to it and feel, you know, the therapeutic value that it's brought me, you know, for their loved ones.
Yeah, I think you found your passion and your purpose, man. And I think it is your journey. You know what I mean? You're definitely doing what you need to be doing, I think.
No, thank you. I 100%. I definitely feel that. You know, I feel like I found something and I got it. You know, I'm running with it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to give them a sample of the song?
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments and people absolutely love the song. Truly heartfelt. For those that haven't yet, yeah. So why don't you give them a sample?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's what I'll do. I'll play it from the second verse, and then out. Then if you want to hear the whole thing, it's on my page or on any streaming platform. We'll play. See if I can find it. All right.
And shout out to the young kid who played in the video.
Oh man, he did such an amazing job. Andrew did such an amazing job, and I mean, everybody in that video are actors. You know, Max found them on an acting forum, and you know, we got a bunch of applicants in, and you know, the two that we decided on were Daniel and Janae. Daniel and Janae, and they, you know, they were professional as can be.
Didn't Rem get the little fella some shoes?
Yeah, because he wasn't quite being cooperative when we first started shooting. So Rem had to bribe him and bought him some Heelys. And it was the coolest thing. I am so grateful that Rem drove down to be part of that shoot, man, because it might not have been the same without him there. I'll tell you what, man, he bribed the hell out of that little kid. XORIP, let's see. All right, do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Can it be louder?
Yeah.
Here we go. From right here, I'll play. It's the second verse. Oh, yeah. We all go, that's a fact, and that's life. But at times, it don't seem like it's right. And this time, it hits home on my feet. That's my people, I need you to tell them they must be mistaken. And where'd you go? I feel empty, alone. And I still hear your voice that you sent to my phone. And I wrote you this song, it's supposed to be yours. I've been holding it, I know you've been waiting. And if you get this in heaven, can you please explain that whoever's in charge must have made a mistake, and they may be confused. It shouldn't be that it's you. If you get this in heaven, can you tell them they must be mistaken about who they taken too soon? Still, can't believe that it's you. XO, R&B, on my newsfeed. XO, R&B, on my newsfeed.
I need to talk to someone about this. I need to know how you feel about this. You come to this realization and you're like, yeah, nothing, no big deal. I know you're probably in the studio, but when you get a chance, give me a call back. Okay, bye. Give me a call back.
And those were the two of them. That was both of them voicemails that I had that they had left me, and I thought that would be the perfect place to put it at the end of the I think it really it makes it real, you know. And I don't. That's one thing I was debating. I'm like, well, people, you know, relate to the song if I add that. And I was like, you know what, this is for me. I'm putting them in there. And anybody that's heard it, you know, we're like, wow, that I wasn't expecting that at the end, you know, with their voices, and I think it adds a real touch. You know, like this is real life, man. You know, and gotta be grateful for the moments that we have, you know, and love the people that we have in our lives as much as we can right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, you can actually still see, like when you hear that part of the song with them too, like you can still see you almost reflected in your mind of like the realization still.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely real, you know. Yeah, it's it was a tough thing to make, and I'm really happy that I've released it, you know. Like I said, it's a huge weight that feels lifted, and I feel like I did you know, I did that for my friend, and then I you know, I dedicated it to my other friend, and I feel good about it, you know. It feels like I said, that therapeutic factor, you know, feels great.
Mm-hmm.
So what does Casey have coming up in the future as far as events? Where can people find you? What shows? What live shows?
So we have a show
that are coming up for Casey Makes Music.
I am doing a show. It's our first live show since Indiana last year. Which Indiana, every time we go to Indiana, holy crap! But we'll talk about Indiana next. So Glorious Recovery is putting on an event called Goodstock in Norwalk, Connecticut, and that's coming up on the 15th of May, I believe. Right? Am I right? Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yes.
And and that's going to be our first live show in a long time, and it's going to be myself, Rem One, B Rain, Joe Nestor, and Kalichi. All the gang's getting back together. You know, the boys are back in town. I'm super stoked about it, man. And then I know, you know, we're starting to book things all over, but May 15th. Yeah, that's what I said, I think, right, Jen?
Yes.
All right, good. But I'm so excited for that. It's at 700 and Wall Street Theater. And if you guys go to my page, Casey Makes Music, it's under the events. You'll see it, and there's a ticket link right there. But it's at the Wall Street Theater in Norwalk, Connecticut. And that venue is like a 750 person venue. They're only selling a couple hundred tickets because of, restriction. We're anticipating a close to sold out show, so that people can still be socially distanced. But if you're in the area of Connecticut or anywhere around it, I know you guys are. Trav is driving down.
I'm driving up. Yeah,
driving up.
Yeah, you notice.
Hell yeah. But see, people are driving hours to come rock with us because I'm gonna tell you, if you've never been to a live show with the whole gang, man, we did the It Takes a Village tour. But it's an experience, man, and I love it. It's one of the. I was just thinking about, like, I got all existential a few weeks ago, and I was like, well, like, what makes me happy? Like, what makes me happy? And I really started questioning that, and the answer I came to is like performing on stage. Like, performing on stage is probably the climax of like the reason I do this, or like the end result. It's the grand finale. It's like everything that I feel that I've wanted to do my entire life, for me personally. And I was scared. I was very nervous. Asked the guys, they saw me do one of my first shows, Rem and B, and they were already like, B Rain's like a seasoned professional on the stage. He's opened up for Macklemore, and they see me and they're like, oh, dude, your music is so good, but bro, you got to work on that stage presence, and then, but that's a lie. My zipper's down. I'm wearing joggers, man. But I learned from the best. I learned from these guys when we went on tour, and by the end of the tour, man, I was rocking out. And then last year in Indiana was probably the most like open I've ever been on stage, and I can't wait to get back to Indiana. They're having a huge event. We're gonna be there on June 5th. And
we'll be there,
and we'll be there too. Yeah, all of us are gonna be there.
Yeah, this is gonna be very, very big. I think it's gonna be really big and really, really impactful and really special. I love Indiana, and that's probably one of the crazier places I've been as far as people showing love. It was unbelievable last year, so I can't wait to get back there. And then we've got I just booked a show with the guys, or we're working on it, so I'm not going to talk about it yet. It hasn't been booked, but we've got some other things coming up. Yeah, Scott. All right. I'm not in shape, man. I put on the COVID 20, the quarantine 20. Swear to God, man, I was in shape when we went on stage. I could take my shirt off and feel good. When people started chanting, because B Rain, it was a thing that he did. He would be like, yo, take off your shirt. And he would go in the audience and be like, take your shirt off, take off your shirt. And like
I yelled at,
because he knows I hated it, right? And then I would be like, I would cave to peer pressure. I'm like, is this what you want? I'm on stage without my shirt on, and I swear to God, that would not happen right now. Maybe, hopefully, I got Serge tells me he's gonna get me in tip top shape, because that man's a monster in the gym. And if you haven't heard of Serge, that's SERG. And I just released an EP with him. That's the 6 Gear EP, and he is absolutely phenomenally talented. And if you haven't heard of that man, please check him out. I'm gonna, B Rain.
Yeah. That 6 Gear EP that you dropped with him, the collaboration on that is crazy, man. Like, that was meant to happen, without a doubt, man.
I genuinely feel that way.
I couldn't even tell you how long I just played the whole thing on loop, just everywhere, in the house, in the car, in the gym. It was just constantly on loop.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, dude, that thing in the video for 6 Gear. Oh man, that thing went crazy. That was
a crazy video.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The old lady with the money gun.
In the grapes.
Another actor that Max found. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's play a little bit of this right here. Up until the hook. I love that hook. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
I got that look up in my eyes, yeah, they telling me you won't catch me on a Friday. I'm probably up inside. You won't see me in your high beams. I'm probably flying, feeling love up in the sky. I'm about to put that shit in drive. Yeah, I won't hit the brakes, ain't downshifting. No, I'm king, but my crown missing. You can feel my voice with no sound system. Head high, now the ground miss me. Tank full, now I'm town skipping. Try to tears, I ain't drowning them. Taking the lead, hope y'all listen. I picture this living in mansions, owning a piece of this land, yeah. Playing the streets left me at a standstill. All of my moves substantial. This life is what God to put in my hands. I'ma do what you tell me I can do. Underdog, I done proven them wrong, so all of that talking just cancel. Don't worry, dog, just do what you do out of love. Say fuck the financials. You build a storm, now you coming up. That's how you go set an example. You tapped in with your best. They don't really wanna face. The praying demons gon' catch. Tell them I got that look up, turn my eyes, yeah, they telling me. You won't catch me on a Friday. I'm probably up inside. You won't see me in your high beams. I'm probably flying, feeling love up in the sky. 6 gear, I'm going fast. I put my problems on the dial. I never thought that this would last. Six gear, I'm going fast. 6 gear, I'm going fast. I put my problems on the dial. I never thought that this would last.
I'll stop it right there. I love that song, man.
That's a great song.
Oh my gosh.
Love it, dude. That's it, and that was the first track too. That set the bar. As soon as I put the first track on, I'm like, oh. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, definitely set the bar, man. That was we were excited to get that off. 2 of those songs we made over a year ago, and we sat on them because we started making 6 gear and we hadn't released the other ones, and I was like, yo, let's just release an EP, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we made Nightmares back. That was the old one. Nightmares, yeah, that was a good one.
That's one of my favorites, man.
Lavish was the one we made. That was the last one we made, was Lavish. And then like I would have scrapped that song hadn't we not needed it for the EP, because like we needed 4 songs to release an EP. I would have scrapped it. It was so frustrating. I didn't know how to come in with my verse, and I was like, wait a minute. And it took me a few days to figure it out. I'm like, I'm just gonna cut the beat out, do some like glass crashing, and then just come in on some really weird shit, change the beat, and then move it back. And it worked out, man. It was like if I could find that, I'll just play that one part right there. It's like, I don't need to live lavish. I ain't in it for the fashion.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to sit there in the studio and watch you work, dude, and you are literally a mastermind. And I like to watch how you think. And it's amazing just to watch you, because not only do I see you not only enjoying what you do, but the passion is there.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, dude, you gotta have that, bro. Like if I'm not passionate, if I'm not loving what I'm doing, then why am I doing it? And that will reflect on my work as well, not just for my own music, but for anybody that comes here and records. When the guys come up and record, like B and Rem, like, hey, they might get stuck on something and spend 13 hours on one song. Every once in a while, this will happen. They'll spend an entire day on one song. And I'll get so frustrated, but I will not ease up at all, because I don't want to take away anything from the quality. You know what I mean? My heart is fully invested in this music with anybody that comes in here, and then we get it done, and then it's freaking amazing. You know what I mean? And we're like, oh, why did we spend so long trying to do one part? All we had to do is this, and it's like, it all comes together in the end.
I watched you make B-Rain say the same word like 30 times. No, more than 30 times. What was it? Do you remember? It was something to do with a bus or a vehicle, the minivan. Minivan.
I don't remember.
Dude, no? But you were like, no, again, no, again. And I'm like, damn, Casey makes mean.
That's like literally every artist that comes in here, bro. I don't know. They're like, bro, are you mad? And I'm like, no, I'm not mad, because I get into this mode where I'm like, nope, timing was off. Nope, pitch was high. No, you're sharp. No. And they're like, I don't even know what sharp means. I'm like, you're too high. Come a little lower. And then I'm like, nope, that was flat. And they're like, what does that mean? I'm like, it was just a little bit too low. I'm like, all right, hit it again. And then I'm like, oh, timing was off on this part, on this one word. And then they're like trying to take these notes, and I'm just like slamming it back on repeat, so they have to do it again right away. And it gets to be like a very strenuous thing. And people are like, dude, I hope you're not mad. And I'm like, no, why would I be mad? You got it. after a half hour, but you still got it. You know what I mean? We got it. It doesn't matter how we got it.
B went through 9 bottles of water. He's like, okay, Casey.
He comes out of the booth. It's like 110 degrees in there.
Yeah, dude. That was funny. Are you still on your anti-energy drink diet?
So no,
No,
but,
boy.
and no. That was like a that day thing. That I was like, yeah, I should probably be doing this. But I'll tell you, I have been. So I drink 1 Red Bull a day in the morning, and then some days I don't, and I'll end up drinking like a 5-hour later on in the day. But I definitely had to significantly cut back my caffeine intake. And you know what? This is next, bro, because I swear to God, this shit's messing with my heart. It's not good. It can't be good. Like, yeah, it's probably better than smoking for my lungs, but like, I think this shit's fucking my heart up. Not gonna lie. I've been having some weird chest pains, and then I'm like, hey, Case, you're getting old. You know, you probably, you should probably get healthy. You know, it's
Probably about that time. Yeah, we should probably work on it.
And then I love Chipotle. You know, I just had it for lunch. You know, I love fried foods, man. And they're probably not good for me. My mom made me a shepherd's pie, and I was like, "This is the most amazing thing." You guys know what shepherd's pie is?
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Mashed potatoes, corn, and ground beef, right?
Yeah.
Made me a shepherd's pie, dude. I'll tell you what, I was devastated when I got, because she didn't tell me. I was devastated when I got it home. She made it with sweet potatoes and mixed veggies. Listen, I ate a plate out of respect, but I don't like sweet potatoes in my shepherd's pie. I like my shepherd's pie to be savory. I like those russet, you know what I mean? Those unhealthy ass starchy potatoes.
I hate sweet potatoes. Anyway.
Thank you.
I'm not a big fan.
I can take some mixed vegetables.
Listen, mixed veggies are cool, man, but like use regular potatoes, mom. Mom.
Come on now.
It was delicious though. I still ate every bit of it, mom. But I'll tell you what, I like unhealthy food, man. I like so major diet changes need to be occurring. One of them is the caffeine intake, but we're not
Take your shirt off.
Yeah. And
I made it a couple of days without the energy drinks. That was about it. And then I just recently tried to switch my diet on. So I watched this show called The Game Changers on Netflix, and it was amazing. All about plant-based diet, right? Not like vegan, just plant-based. And
Yeah.
I was sold. I watched this, and it was all about athletes and sports and like some of the strongest men in the world and this and that, and they're all plant-based diet. And so I'm like, I'm all in. Like, I'm fucking sold on you. Sold me. Like, I'm gonna do this. Went to the store.
You'll run up to your flower box and eat a dandelion.
And as soon as I started telling anyone, all I got was shit. Dude, I was just getting insulted left and right.
Yeah.
you gotta move in silence. Yeah, you gotta move in silence when you make decisions like that.
Yo, Recovery Mike's vegan. He's fucking vegan. I'm like, yo, relax, dude. No, it was plant-based. I'm giving it a shot. Dude.
Be cool. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm doing it in moderation right now. I'm trying.
You're gonna eat that Beyond Burger?
No, fuck that thing.
Yeah.
That's fast food. I can't do the fast food, man.
No, Beyond Burger, it's plant-based. And if you don't like that, I got some Beyond sausage.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, we Is that what you use in that corner of the studio you were talking about?
Over here.
It's over there.
Travis did things in here that I'm not at liberty to speak about. Online.
Oh shit. Ryan, thank you for the comment. Thank you. That's the first nice comment I've gotten about it.
My sister said she was happy to make you a healthy meal, though. I know, and I feel like I upset her, Kristen, because I was like, Mom, it wasn't my favorite. And I feel bad. I did eat it. You know what I mean? And I just wasn't expecting it. You know, when you make something for 30 years one way, and then you're like, hey, well, I'm going to switch it up, you're going to get a little pushback,
Yeah.
Casey makes protein shake. That's funny.
Dude, Casey makes everything. Casey makes freaking meatloaf.
Casey, yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I really don't. Rachel's a better cook than I am, And I have to say that so that she continues to cook. There you go. Casey makes healthy choices.
Dude, one of the first times I was down there, Rachel was like, she had brought some type of soup, and she was like, "Yo, it is Thanksgiving in soup form." Do you remember this? Yeah, Rachel, she'll say it was squash soup or something like that, and it was like, "Nah, it's orange. I don't eat orange things. Sweet potatoes are orange. I'm not gonna eat it."
I don't mess with them. Yeah, no, I'm not into those weird colors. Yeah.
No.
I don't do those.
Give me a steak. Give me some freaking potatoes, white russet Maine potatoes, and some gravy.
Thank you. That's a soup I would eat.
See, Rachel knows. She's like, "Oh yes."
Yeah.
She was stuffing. You see, butternut squash. She was stuffing spoonsful down Nestor's throat. Eat this. Eat this.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I see. Casey makes protein shakes. Casey makes healthy choices. Mike sits to pee.
That was my man Ryan, dude.
Oh,
Awesome. All right, well, let's
Casey,
let you go to the Ryan sleeps with a stuffed monkey, so
man.
so,
just threw him out there on the corner like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me I sit to pee. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him
You
to
do.
with a stuffed monkey. Yeah, man.
You know.
But going back real quick to the EP too, man, I got to tell you, like me personally, I suffer severely from PTSD, right? And it's a big thing for me, and especially as of late. So the timing is almost perfect. But when you put that song "Nightmares" on that EP, like I relate that to my PTSD so much. I remember putting a post on it with that in the background and kind of like touching on PTSD, but man, that hit home for me. That one, it really did, man.
Yeah, I don't even remember how that song came about. I was listening to the beat and I was like, that phrase came in my head. I'm like, why are they called nightmares if they come at day? And it was just like, wow, that's true, you know, because that's when like you'll just be randomly sitting, everything will be good, and then you'll just have like a horrible thought or like a horrible thing will hit you and like you feel it in your gut. And I'm like, damn, I want to write a song about that. Boom, nightmares. I don't want to go home, but I can't stay. Living in this dream world. Something. No.
Living in this dream world's got me in a daze.
I live slow, now I'm feeling some way. Why they call nightmares if they come at day? Why they call nightmares if they come at day? And it's funny because Serge will sing that, and he sings it so much better than me. But that one, he was just like, yo, he's like, you got this, big dog. He's like, you're gonna sing this hook, bro. You got this, big dog. And I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna sing this one. Yeah. I was like, I got it. And then like I'll hear him now, like, and he'll be like, why they call nightmares if they come, you know, and then in the Serge voice, I'm like, why did I let you sing hook, bro? he's like, no. Like he does some weird inflections with his voice. No. I'm like, bro, what the hell, man? Come on. Everything. That guy can't miss, bro.
Yeah, he's fire. He's definitely fire.
Yeah, for sure.
And that country song, whew,
God.
come on, man.
Coming back now, Serge isn't one of us. You know what I mean? He's just a dude that is just like a super positive force. You know what I mean? He never really went off the deep end. You know, he's been affected by addiction, but just, you know, within, you know, friends and family and stuff like that. But he's just like a super positive dude and like a role model for people to look up to. So we hit it off, you know, really, really well. And our styles just blended together. But Serge, man, he made this, and he does like a lot of love songs. You know what I mean? Like breakup songs, stuff like that. You know, the ladies love it. And so, what do you say? He's like, bro, I want to make a country song. And I'm like, I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about, bro? Like, you don't make country music, bro. You make like relevant, like poppy, hip hop. You know, you're dope, dude. Stay in your lane. And he's like, and then like, it was Halloween, bro. And he came and he was wearing this fucking wig. And I was like, you know what, bro? Let's make a country song, you know? So I don't know. I just looked at him and I was like, you know what? It seems right. Let's do it. So I threw him in the booth, dude, and I found this country beat, and he's just like, she ain't coming back. So I'm pouring whiskey, I'm sipping on Jack, and I'm like, bro, that shit slaps, dude. I was like, that's fire. And he's like, she want a Fendi, she want Protect, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, hit record. I'm like, do that again. And I'm like, do it like this, bro. You got it. I'm gonna play a little clip of this, bro. You gotta hear it, bro. This dude, off the wall. The talent that this kid has, unbelievable. Surge. Yeah, I've been sleeping on this Jack, hoping that she come back. Yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy. Hold on. Back. Here we go. And then he goes into the verses, and it's like not country anymore. It's amazing, bro. Listen to this.
She ain't coming back, so I pour a whiskey, I'm sipping on Jack. She want a Fendi, she want Protect. She want the whole world right now, she want the bag, and I'm my bag. She ain't coming back. I know first things first, I'm always gonna. I know worst gonna worst, gotta leave it in the past. She ain't coming back, sipping on Jack. I'm on my bag. Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. Drunk calling cause I've been sipping JD. Wanna put the rocks on you, think I'm Jay-Z. Let the way you rock, girl, you keep me wavy. Trying to stay up.
All right, that's unreleased. I'm not gonna play too much. But he killed it, bro. I don't think, bro, this is a song. That's not it. It's not like a country mockery song, bro. You just made a country banger. Get out of here.
That was sick.
But no, dude, just an amazing person to work with, and he's just started coming around to the studio more, and he's Serge, and he's starting to learn more engineering and that end of it, and he's trying to segue into having a full career in music, and we're working to get him on stage. We're trying to pump him up, and maybe some upcoming shows, get him some stage time, and he's done a few shows in the past, but I want him. I want this guy to blow up. That's the thing, man. I want everyone in my life, man. And just like the people I keep around, in my on the other side, like the people that I keep around my life, like are always pushing me to be my best, and like are always encouraging me when I'm doing well, and like always rooting for me, and I try to keep that energy, man. Like because like. You got to be rooting for your peoples, man. Like if you're not rooting for your people, then like you don't have people. You know what I mean? Like I want all the homies to succeed, because your success is my success, bro. And that doesn't mean like in a monetary sense, but like that means I'm genuinely happy when I see my bros doing cool shit, and that it's a lot to say about the people that you keep around you, and that ties in so perfectly with like recovery, and keeping people around me that want the best for me, and keeping people that are also very driven, and people that are living fulfilling lives, and people that are good family men, and people that are active in their community, and people that are helping others, And it's like if I keep all those people are like, if those people are like the tightest people that I got in my corner, then I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? It's when I start slipping, and like, yeah, I could see hanging out with somebody that's not in that position to kind of help uplift them. You know what I mean? But once I start surrounding myself with negative people, then guess what? Next thing you know, I'm start having negative thoughts, and I start going down this slippery slope. So I think. The people, I'm blessed to have the people in my life that I have in my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way, and Serge is one of them, all the guys, man, B, Rem, these dudes are amazing. I talk to B and Rem almost every day, man. They're doing amazing things, Kalichi, Joe, like all the guys that I went on tour with, they're just awesome, awesome people. Travis and Mike, you know what I mean? Yeah, right. It's like no, but y'all are doing something positive, and that's what it is, bro. Like you guys are out here, you have a platform, you guys have a way to reach people, and you're doing it, and that's awesome. It's unbelievable, and I see y'all popping off on TikTok, dude. Come on, bro. Come on,
dude, yeah. But you literally just go and make a you're rapping for a cigarette video, dude. Come on, dude. That thing is like I'm out here twerking for a living, bro.
Bro,
twerking.
That blows up on Brian Fisher's TikTok, bro,
I know.
not mine. It's crazy, bro. People hate me on TikTok, but when somebody else posts my shit, dude, that's when it does. TikTok's so weird, bro.
It's so weird.
Well,
I'm so glad that you said that, though, man. Real quick to touch on what you just said too, because I tell people the same thing all the time, and it's a lot of people in recovery that I talk to and stuff, but also just in life general, man. The people you surround yourself with, and the impact it has on your course. Because I tell people the way that I put it all the time, and I'm sure 100 people heard me say it before, at least. Is that's what it's about. Like, you have to constantly look at your circle, who you surround yourself with, and they should be people that are encouraging you to do better, expect better out of you, and inspire you to do better. And it reciprocates right back to the family. Mm-hmm. And like, if you're surrounded not by those people, then you're not in a circle at all. You're in a cage. You know what I mean? And I've been in that way of life for so long. Like, I'm finally broke the chains, and and I feel like too, like if you sit in a room, you feel like you're the smartest person in the room. You're in the wrong fucking room. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we have to remain teachable. We have to, you know what I mean? Encourage others and have people in the corner that are going to continuously encourage us, man. So I'm really glad you said that, because it's so important. And I think some people downplay that sometimes and say, well, I've known this person for so long and I need them in my life, and are afraid to let go of people. You know what I mean? But holding on hurts more than letting go sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I got to shout out Brian Fisher too, because if he ever watches this live, I didn't say his name before, and he'll murder me. And Jacob, Marco, shout out to Marco for being an amazing producer. Marco produced Six Gear. He produced XO RIP for me. And him and my buddy Jacob are moving out to LA. Oh, just kidding. They're talking about moving out to LA possibly soon. So you know what? I hope they do, because it's I lived out there and I love it, man. And I hope they do, because they're two talented individuals, you know. Shout out those guys too. They're amazing.
So Angel just came in and said, hey. So she's actually organizing. Yeah, she's organizing the Indiana, which we were just talking about earlier.
Oh, I know. I was just talking about how stoked I was.
Yeah. So for you guys that aren't aware, Angel right there is actually organizing Recover Out Loud 2021, which is Napanee, Indiana. And that's on June 5th. Yeah, June 5th. It's a family-oriented event, which is the best part, which is amazing. And I know there's loads of things. So there's also different fellowships. There's teen education. There's kids amusements. And all you guys are going to be there performing. Yeah. And I know Travis, you'll be down there with Climb for Recovery.
It's gonna be wild. It is going to be an epic fun-filled, not just day. I think it's a couple days. But I mean, the event is one day. But it's gonna be the show of all shows. I can't wait. I love Indiana. I can't wait to get back there.
I can't wait to go down, man. Yeah, we'll definitely be coming down. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I know personally too that are driving far ways, flying in, everything. So yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Go ahead, Casey.
I'm excited. I'm excited just thinking about it. That's all I was saying. I'm excited.
Yeah, are you gonna be shirt ready by then?
You got a little time.
We're in June. I don't know. You know, it depends how much cardio we get busting. You know, I'm not sure. But probably not. So,
all right, I got a question for you. Okay, between B-Rain, Rem One, Kalichi, Joe Nestor. Okay, who are you singing a love song with? Okay, who's the lead singer in the boy band? And who would be the first one to get kicked out of the band?
All right. B-Rain is the lead singer of the boy band. That's without a doubt.
What's the name of it? What's the name of the boy band?
What? Oh my God. Now you're putting me on the spot, dude.
The Ginger Tonics?
The name of the boy band would be Cloud Gang. It would be Cloud Gang.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay.
That'd be the name of the boys.
Who you singing a love song with?
Chaz. Easy. 100%.
Okay, what's the reason?
Have you seen him? I mean, are you kidding me, dude? He's small. His smolder, it makes me melt. Are you are you kidding me? He's by far the most handsome in the bunch. Yeah.
Okay, so now who are you throwing out of the boy band, and for what reason?
That's a good question. Who would I throw out of the boy band? I can't toss my dog. I can't toss my dog, bro. I wouldn't. Hey, we already cut all the loose strings, bro. That's we're that's the boy band, man.
All right, backup dancers. You can throw a backup dancer. Josh?
Oh man, yeah. Dude, I hate to love Josh and I love to hate Josh. Absolutely, bro. He's out, but he's always in, bro. That kid is always out.
Yeah, he is. So, Mike, unless do you want to ask him anything else? I know it's past our hour, and
Yeah.
he's going to send me a bill for the extra 24 minutes.
Max will get at you.
Yeah, go to Travis.
Yeah. I think your address. I think you gave me the wrong address. He's saying that he got the mail back returned to sender.
Yeah, it's an old warehouse in Meriden, Connecticut. You can just send it there. It's got a ghost. It's got a ghost in the back room.
Hey, you never address the ghosts at the studio that way. You know what I mean? When you see a ghost, you hear a ghost, you don't address them. You know, you just let them know nothing. You let them know nothing. You ignore them, and they just pass on by. You know what I mean? Maybe flicker the lights a little bit. I'll tell you what, I won't look at my security cameras when I'm not in the building, because this building is like my studio. It's like I renovated 1,000 square feet. I have another 1,000 square feet that I'm about to start renovating, but it's beautiful in here. But you go out in the building, like people that come here for the first time, it's a building that was it was built in the early 1900s, maybe the late 1800s. And when I walk people up to my studio from the parking lot, it's like an old factory that is now a bunch of small businesses. People are like, dude, are you going to kill me? Are you going to kill me? You know, it's like that's the common theme when I'm like, yeah, come on up. It's right down this hallway. Come
Yeah. And it's a long hallway.
It's like
the light doesn't even come on until you're in the hallway.
It's a scary old building, bro. And I have friends that have been here and like seeing crazy shit, and I'm like, dude, I haven't yet, but I'm glad I haven't, and if I did, I'm not addressing it. You know what I mean? Just you guys do you. I've always said I think they just fuck with good music, bro, so they leave me alone. But so yeah, the studio is in Narnia, bro. Stress. Jamie Traverso, hands down, bro. That is my day one. This dude, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be making music. There was a gap where I wasn't doing anything for like 6 months. And this dude was relentlessly on me, like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you have a gift, like you're obligated, like you have an obligation to continue to create music. And this was a few years ago. But like this dude has pushed me since, we've been friends since we were young, and I came, and he's a successful barber now. And I went and I got a haircut from him when I first moved back to Connecticut. And I was like, yo, I rap now. And he was like, oh, cool, man. You know, and I was like, no, can I rap for you? And he's like, yeah, sure, man. You know, and then like I rapped this song that I wrote, and like when I was done, he just like looked at me and he goes, are you fucking kidding me? Like, let's go, you know. But like, dude, day one, like another those people that I say keeping your corner, man. I stress Jamie. We call him Stress the Barber, but Jamie, man, I love him like a brother, man. Honestly, oh no, this story. I love you, man. But I feel like I was saying something before that. Oh, go. So I won't even look at the security cameras when I'm not here and all the lights are off. If I start the live feed on the security camera, it's like, night vision type shit. Yeah. I won't even look at it for more than a couple seconds because I know. I fucking know. You know what I mean? I already know something's gonna come across that screen and make me never want to come back here. So I won't even watch them unless I have reason to. Nope. No way. No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nestor gave me a ghost story one time when I was down there.
From
And,
from the building?
yes, yeah. He said he wanted to give you and Rachel a night off because he was staying at your house. It was when he was working on his album
With Marco.
So-
yeah.
right. So he stayed, decided he was going to stay at the studio, and he said he could just hear that big ass clanky chair in the haunted part just being dragged across the floor. And he was so petrified that he called Faith and made Faith stay on the phone with him until he fell asleep.
Yeah, bro. He should have ignored it.
Don't give it no powers. Yeah, so ignored it.
I should have ignored it, bro. You know, that's what he gets. You know, that's what you get, Joe Nestor. Oh, I got a song coming out with Joe Nestor. I'm working on right now. It's gonna be pretty good, man. It's gonna be pretty good, man.
I'm excited for the Nobody Special. And I'm always excited for any of your guys' music, the whole gang. You guys are all great friends, making amazing music. But I'm excited for the track You Ren B, Nobody Special. I've actually been able to hear that. I've also going to be, somewhere in that video with this. We help sponsor it, whatever. Back the boys.
You're gonna be in the Nobody Special video?
Not in the video, but Climb for Recovery helped sponsor it.
Oh, okay. I was like, yo, we shot the video.
I know. In the desert no, in the desert with the alien boys.
Yeah, no, I know, dude. Oh yeah, I know. I did. I do remember them saying that. Shout out to you guys, seriously. Because that video is awesome. That video is awesome. Another thing, they're coming up here to shoot a video this Saturday. For a song that they did, and Serge sang the hook, and they both have crazy verses, and then it's called Family Over Blood. Meaning like you don't necessarily need to be blood to be family, right? And Serge sang the hook on it, and it's and we're shooting a video for it. It's crazy. The song is we're shooting a video on Saturday. I'm on the song. I haven't even finished writing my verse. That's what I was supposed to be doing at the studio today. And, Trav, of course, you know what I mean? He's like, bro, we'll make it really sweet. We're going to send you 3,000 instead of 2. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll come live, So, that's my excuse, guys. If I don't have my verse, no, but I need to have my verse. I'm going to show you this hook though. Because it's crazy. I know we're basically out of time, but, let's see. Rem and B.
Yeah. He did that the night me and Scott drove back up to Maine.
Did he? Was that the night he came in?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. Yeah, I that was later. Yep. Family Over Blood. I'll just play the one with the hooks. Ready? I don't want to give away B's verse,
He'll sue you.
All right, ready? It's coming, I promise.
Blood don't always make you family, and I got some kin around me that took me for granted, and I keep some homies around me that don't really look like me. Got them and feel like we family. Yeah, they over blood, yeah. It's family over blood, just know that's on everything. It's family over blood, the blood don't mean everything. It's family over blood, just know that's on everything. It's family over blood, no.
Oh my god, he's so good, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
He kills it, man.
Oh man, it's effortless, bro. He gets in the booth I won't even have because usually I'll track if somebody's singing, you track with auto-tune. And it's not because they can't sing, but auto-tune is another word for it is pitch correction. So if you're hitting a note and you're just the slightest bit off the center of that note, if you have very small amount of auto-tune on it, it centers your voice in that range. So you don't hear auto-tune. It's not what everyone thinks, right? Literally every song you hear on the radio where somebody's singing has auto-tune as pitch correction on there. So everyone that's like, oh, I didn't need auto-tune. Auto-tune is, you know what I mean? Literally every famous person has auto-tune. But anyway, I'll have Serge in the booth and I track with autotune. So it's default. It's it's always on, just very minutely. And sometimes more than others, but in this case, very minutely, he'll be singing and I'll realize that it'll be disabled the whole time. And I'm like, and I'll like, it'll be like a half hour in and I'm like, this dude's hitting every fucking note. Phenomenal. I'm like, checking this. I opened the thing and I was like, the auto-tune's not even fucking on. So what the hell is wrong with you, dude? You gotta go, man. You can't be doing that here. None of that. You can't be that good. You know, I think, dude, I think there's big things in this man's future if he continues to take music seriously. You know, and I'd love to help in any way I can, you know, with learning how to engineer, with, you know, access to the studio. He's just a really, really, really good dude, you know, and anything that I can do to kind of help him along, like I was talking about before, you know, gotta look out for one another, you know.
So go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna thank Casey for his time. You got anything else, Trev?
You know, Casey, I love you, bro. Thank you for agreeing to do this. You know, you're definitely not only just an amazing person, someone I consider a friend, and you didn't even hesitate when we asked you, when I asked to jump on the podcast. You were like, dude, just hit me up on this. If I don't have a session booked, dude, I'll do it, and that's awesome. Is there anything you want to say, or where people can find you, what your links are, how to find that badass hoodie that you're wearing, and when are you going to shave the starter set Fisher Price My First Beard off?
There he goes again.
No, I don't got nothing, man. Thanks. No, listen, it's Casey Makes Music on literally all platforms. Instagram at Casey Makes Music, Facebook at Casey Makes Music. You can search for my music on any streaming platform at Casey Makes Music.
TikTok included.
TikTok, it's actually Casey Makes Music 1 on TikTok because
I own the original.
Some 12-year-old girl has Casey Makes Music from back when it was Musical.ly. And we're going back here. This is before TikTok was even TikTok. It was another app called Musical.ly. And this girl hasn't touched the account in 3 years, but I can't. I even DM'd her. I was like, hey, I'll buy your account. But she hasn't responded. So I think it's a dead username. Like I bet she can't even log on, you know? So I'll never have Casey Makes Music on TikTok. I will never be Casey Makes Music.
Like Clan for Recovery, Braley owns that.
Oh my God.
Little P owns that, bro. She can't remember the freaking password.
Oh my God. Have you reached out?
I've been trying, dude. I've thrown it hundreds in front of her face and fixed this now. So I'm Clan for Recovery C4R62. Like, come on, dude.
Hey, we do what we got to do, you know.
So Casey, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out today, man. And with, like Travis said, without hesitation to join us, man, to spread a message and just what you're doing out there, man. I'm a big supporter. I know everybody here is. So man, I'm grateful, man, that we were able to spend some time together tonight. And so thank you, man. Really, really appreciate it. Very, very grateful, man.
Hey, anytime, you guys. I typically I tend to shy away from live and stuff, and especially like advocate type stuff and recovery stuff. Just because I don't know everybody out there and I don't know people's motive. But I mean, when you asked me, Trav, you know, I know you and like, you know, I wouldn't hesitate for anything to come on and talk, you know. So thank you guys for having me, honestly.
Thank you, man.
Casey climbing mountains soon.
Maybe.
Casey's gonna be down in Kensington doing outreach with
us. Maybe when Casey starts eating carrots, you know what I mean?
Hey, plant-based, bro. Grab a dandelion.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
All right, thank you again, man. Appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Peace.